Welcome back to the Deep Dig of Sports Pod. I'm your host, Drew. My other host right here next to me.
What's up? It's D. Good to see you again. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. The channel is growing. And then be sure to drop some comments below. Let us know your thoughts.
All right, another team that's on the downturn right now, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence. Everyone, I feel like I don't see anyone bashing Trevor Lawrence ever, but I think we're going to declare this is the Trevor Lawrence hater pod. Are we starting the club?
I mean, I think I've seen more and more like, hey, this guy wasn't as advertised. What are we doing here?
I mean, he was, put on a pedestal of like, this guy is going to be one of the best quarterbacks ever.
Yeah.
And I'll just throw out, I seen someone screenshotted this on Monday. First 48 career starts, Trevor Lawrence versus Daniel Jones look identical. Their passer rating, 85.5, 85.4. Touchdown interceptions, 55-35, 55-33. Their yards combined, 12. Trevor Lawrence has 12,200. Daniel Jones has 12,000. And win-loss, Trevor Lawrence 20-28, Daniel Jones 19-29. So I seen people trying to argue for like, oh, well, Daniel Jones had better teams. Trevor Lawrence went through a year at Urban Meyer. Daniel Jones had Joe Judge for 2 years, and he's had one of the worst receiving cores ever for his whole career.
Yeah. So
I think I like the quote. I don't remember who said it, but one of the announcers was saying, I'm starting to question if the Giants have good receivers or I just know all their names. Because you know who like Wan'Dale Robinson is and like Darius Slayton, you know their names and they should be good, but they just look so terrible all the time. And we just saw Trevor Lawrence, he throws a lot of picks and they're not really cashing in his wins. Both these guys have playoff wins too. So how different are these guys?
I don't know. Like one thing that starts to creep up in my mind, and I'm sure it's going to start to creep up in the offseason, is the quotes pre-draft about Trevor Lawrence, where he's like, "Football's not my entire life. Like I really don't define myself as a football player." And it's like you have other guys like Jalen Hurts, who football is his entire fucking life. He faced adversity and he was like, no, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get fucking better. You want me to switch to a running back or wide receiver? I'm not fucking doing that. I'm going to improve and I'm going to be an NFL quarterback. And then you have guys like Trevor Lawrence who's like, yeah, I can take it or leave it. It's whatever. And I have other interests. And it's like, dude, you should be improving year to year. And it just seems like he's hit his ceiling and that's where he stayed, and everyone was expecting a huge improvement for this Jaguars team this year. You brought in a bunch of weapons. You got Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Travis Etienne. You were supposed to really kind of take that next step. You have a Super Bowl winning head coach, and it just kind of fizzled out. And it's like, are you really the guy? Like someone needs to do a dog transplant in Trevor Lawrence. Take his like Tommy DeVito's dog and put it into Trevor Lawrence, and that would be like the perfect football player, right? And someone who has like that moxie, but also that extreme talent and all the tools and everything that you need. That would be unstoppable, but you just don't have that.
It's very like the Justin Herbert story for me. Like everyone's ready to crown him as top 3 quarterback, top 5 best quarterback in the league. And I'm just kind of sitting there like looking around like, am I the only one that's like, hey, what have you done for me? Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, you won a playoff game. Like, cool. But you're losing you're getting worse every week. This team is looking terrible. And you have the Colts and the Texans on your ass. The Colts are on their backup quarterback.
Yeah.
The Texans, CJ Stroud's been hurt for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
Like, how have you not ran away with this division? The Titans, they're on their 3rd quarterback. Like, what is going on that Trevor Lawrence, who's like, everyone is like, yeah, he's one of the most talented quarterbacks ever.
Generational talent.
And he's just not pulling away from this division that's like pretty mediocre. Like, yeah, the Colts are overachieving. The Texans are looking good with CJ Stroud. But realistically, the Jags should be way better than these teams.
Yeah.
And they're just not.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have a serious talk with him in the offseason. Like, hey, I don't know what needs to improve or what you need, but we will take you to a coach. We will make sure that you get everything that you like any resource that you need. It's all taken care of, but we need you to put in the work. we need you to continue to do this. Like, I don't know who needs to have that, because I'm sure Doug Peterson has had that talk with him this season. Like, hey, what is it? But also, he banged up a good portion of this year. That's not great. That's not, I mean,
Well,
and then he had that injury where it looked like a season ender, where he like threw his helmet and was like, and then refused to take the cart. But I don't know if that's an excuse or if that's like still lingering or what.
Well, I mean, you guys let us know in the comments. Are you guys also joining the Trevor Lawrence hater club, or you guys still believe in the guy? Because I don't know. I don't see it anymore, really. I see the talent, but I don't see how he's really putting it all together.
Thanks so much for checking it out. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to drop some comments below. And make sure you subscribe. Later.
See you.